Hello everyone, this is Ethan Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. So as you can see, pretty garbo offense like usual, even though Naga was bonus, so we were scoring plus 160 because, well, the offense team is so garbo that against any somewhat competent team or like infantry pulse or whatnot, things go downhill really fast. So we just kind of do whatever, and I think this week we lost 2 double matches or something something like that, so very poor results overall, but it's whatever until I figure out what in the world I can do for a viable strategy during Astra season. I'm getting a feeling it's going to be a carry that uses disarm trap, because I do notice a common theme is that we kind of just don't have enough consistency against trap placements. But well, there's multiple problems here. Not activating speed res solo, and going in turn 1 and putting yourself under panic manner. So like, even though Marissa here is barrier blade, she doesn't have speed res solo up, and she's not at 100% HP, so Duma's 78 attack is actually going to be doing something, and even through the 40% damage reduction he kills, so then it's just Duma memes. And this week was we got pretty fortunate only getting minus 14 this week, because we got quite a few rematches this week for obvious reasons. And I decided I was going to meme on Elowood and put Desperation with Hardy Bearing on him, purely for the memes. But yeah, we changed it out to Poison Strike because someone didn't like seeing that. so we did that. And it came in handy, it turns out, but really, the Hardy Bearing, I'm pretty sure it was a deterrent this week from a lot of people using Vantage. We did see some Vantage this week. And of course we saw Dual Lin this week, very standard stuff. So it's not mind-blowing how things go downhill really fast. And really the fact that Sonya needs to run Quick and Pulse on this team to have turn 1 Glacies is really sad, because we can't have Wings of Mercy with Hardy Bearing. It's unfortunate. It would at least make people think like 2 more seconds if the Hardy Bearing unit was all the way in the corner with Wings of Mercy instead of Elowood, because you can just snipe Duma, snipe Elowood, call it a day, GG. Or you can do what this person did and not bring a dancer, but you have Duo Tiki, or Harmonized Tiki, whatever you want to call them. So you can get a triple attack with Lin. But other than that, the defense being as meme as usual because it has no mobility, other than base mobility and Wings of Mercy on 2 units. And yeah, I'm not sure. Legendary Julia probably was also deterrent this week. That's the real problem, is I can't tell what people didn't bring against my defense, so I have a good idea of what people are spooked about when they look at my defense, because I have a general idea of what people wouldn't bring against my team if they had a diverse set of 5 teams. But yeah, it would help to actually know what exactly is going on. But yeah, lots of rematches this week. It's quite the interesting week. But a common theme here is, if I'm building an actual Astra offense, definitely probably gotta use Plumeria, because without a dancer, probably things go way too downhill. And of course I always gotta have a bonus unit, which I don't think I will care for too much, because either that involves always having a new unit, Asker Trio, or always having a legendary hero, and the legendary hero has to correspond with the proper season to actually score. And well, Pretty typical thing that happened this week was Legendary Julia couldn't one-round KO units, and she can't really tank enemy phase too well. She does okay against single targets occasionally, but yeah, it's not great. And well, of course, Legendary Edelgard wasn't surviving that, and Elowood happens to get into Wings of Mercy range, so Sonya can actually do something. And they activate the Bolt Trap and go for the advantage play, but for obvious reasons, Elowood's going to murder Cannagus, and Altina is going to be able to survive here, but the problem is Altina, they've already lost too many units, so they just decide to surrender. I'm pretty sure Altina could have won the match, but losing 4 units like that is just way too much. You can definitely get a better result than that. And well, here we have more classic memes. This is just standard good old Vantage, plus 10 shenanigans, and of course dual Micaiah, so we can actually do damage. Nothing too special there. I definitely like the catapult and Duma thing on the middle 2 columns. I know a very common thing nowadays though, to like go anti-meta sort of, is to put your bolt tower or whatever structure you want to have up on like column 2 or 5, depending on which maps you're more worried about. And well, this is just a good play, completely running away, because again, this team does not have very good range because Elowood's over here, and it's not like we have a 3 movement dancer where we could put Elowood in a better spots. Like if we could have him here and get danced, then he would have more range. The problem is he's easily snipeable then. There's just too many problems. I might try it out sometime, but yeah. With dominance, you would hope they would kill, and they do. And at this point it's GG. They can just go ahead and bait here. And of course, Mirror Herbalist is going to do a non-negligible amount of damage to Altina. And of course, Sonya doesn't have Hardy Bearing, so that's just an easy Vantage kill, and it's just free real estate to go around and collect stuff. With the Disarm Trap, they don't have to worry about the Bolt Trap slowing them down, but it really doesn't matter because it's just Olivia left. So they go in for the Quad Attack. They only get 3 hits in. And there you go. Pretty standard stuff. If I actually want to properly counter Vantage, I would need to actually have some units that can actually do some damage and tank at the same time. Of course, chip damage is always going to be a problem. That's why Bolt Tower is so strong against a lot of defenses. If you don't get it wrecked by a Catapult or a Duma. This team is just a mishmash of units that presumably is fully designed for hit and run. So the problem with that is if you can't run, and you're definitely not just going in there like this, it's not a great idea. Because, well, you know, Legendary Julia can survive a hit, but Light and Dark versus Light and Dark, 10 out of 10. And of course, this is only a +2 Legendary Julia, so even though she has the defense tile and we don't, it's just better for us here. And Legendary Julia gets to go on a mini rampage. But I have a Iceberg on Legendary Julia just because with Infantry Pulse on Olivia it becomes 2 cooldown. So if she gets into at least a neutral engagement on initiation because of mirror impact, so say she attacks and the enemy counters, which is pretty common, then we're able to get Iceberg, assuming they don't pulse smoke, of course. You can get Iceberg after a dance, which is pretty nice. But this person's using dual Alphons, and well, it's going to be pretty much what you should expect. Dual Alphons against Legendary Julia is already a terrible matchup, and Glacie Sonya existing is already a problem. it's like a mandatory pulse smoke thing, but it's like even if you have pulse smoke, it's just not doing a lot of damage to legendary Julia because, well, I highly doubt, like, you would need to use panic to prevent Virtuous Naga from proccing, most likely, with a max dual Alphonse or something of that nature. And even if you panic, she still has 52 res on initiation of mirror impacts. So it kind of hurts a bit. Just a little. They're actually running distant counter on Duma again. I think it was useful. It was useful as a deterrent, maybe, because you can see like Duma lives there because of Fell Breath and just having a decent bulk, not amazing. But the fact he gets +6 res helps a lot. Although it doesn't double, but he does get Poison Strike off. He's also in Wings of Mercy range, so he can pick up some kills, and Duma sits on the defense tile chilling. And there's just too many units to deal with. You can't murder 6 units in one turn, so that's GG. And, well, we get to see more interesting things this season. This was quite the interesting season, and this is the most important matchup where Poison Strike Elowood actually did something. Honestly speaking, though, I may want to just try Poison Strike 6 for the memes, because I have the Poison Strike seal maxed out from a long time ago, so I could totally try that. It would be funny. See, it wouldn't necessarily be good, but it would be funny. That's mostly what I do on defense. I just like, what funny thing could I possibly do? And just good use of the Bolt Trap to get the Wings of Mercy ready. Like, this is just good setup. The problem is, well, Brave Edelgard just was not good enough. Could not do enough damage, especially because of the built-in, what is basically steady impact on Blazing Durandal. It's a bit too much to deal with. And of course they end up not using the defense tile here because they want the damage reduction, which is very important for Brave Edelgard because in general, without Flame, she doesn't have any damage reduction on the first hit. So if enemies have like really high powered specials up turn 1, like a standard Lysithea or whatever, she's gonna take a lot, even though she, you know, will typically get the -6 attack on the foe during combat. Even at +10 here, and of course with the special fighter shenanigans, you can't even proc Noontime. But the Poison Strike is really what clutches it here. Of course, Brave Edelgard was never killing in this instance. I'm not sure what they were expecting with Elowood here. I don't really know how things would have gone if they just went defense tile and everyone's just not nearby. Let's see, 44 res would have been 57 res-ish, so she's taking a non-negligible amount of damage from Sonya still. Yeah, I don't really know if Brave Edelgard actually could handle Elowood plus Sonya. That's actually something interesting. But Sonya's able to snipe off lane, and so Mirabilis can yoink the kill off of Brave Edelgard. But yeah, I don't really know if she actually could have done it here, even on the defense tile. Probably could. The Poison Strike though. Yeah, the Poison Strike is really what does it, but on the defense tile, she would take a lot less damage from Elowood. No, I'm not sure. Not sure. They would have to. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure there. Was it this? I already forgot what replay we're on. Alright, yeah, we're on number 8 now. See, I'm not entirely sure if they actually could have done anything there. Just because impacts in general on defense are just so nice. If people don't have null follow-up, or something like double quick riposte or something to guarantee they get a follow-up attack. And well, there's not much to say about this matchup. I'm not sure. Obviously, this team wasn't ever going to fare too well against my defense, but they didn't even activate their duo skill. They didn't put Flame in range because they use reposition on Naga. And well, even if everything went completely right for them, like say they even have Flame in range of duo Alphonse, then you know he'll have 62 attack and you know open the future up and stuff. The legendary Julia here has a higher attack stat, of course, even after the -7 attack, so she actually has 77 attack or something. And 62 res, so he's not doing a lot of damage to her, and they don't have pulse smoke on him, so Iceberg would be incoming. Sonya also exists. I'm not entirely sure if this team could actually beat my setup as is without some shenanigans, but without open the future up, Ella can just kill with Glacies. And honestly, I might try bringing Gale Force back. It might be useful. Maybe with the Poison Strike it would be useful. I don't know. But it's like, because I don't know if I have Gale Force, do people bring Pulse Smoke so it doesn't proc? Because I remember back when I was running Gale Force, that was the case. A lot of people would bring Pulse Smoke, and so Gale Force was just useless. Also, the problem with Gale Force is that it's at 5 cooldown, and so I really wouldn't want to use Quicken Pulse to make it 4 cooldown to make it slightly more consistent. There's so many problems with running Gale Force, I was just like, screw it, we're just gonna run Glacies for some damage. And here, nothing too mind-blowing here. This team is very susceptible to just walking in and nuking at all the main threats. And it's not like my dancers have very strong offensive presence. Maybe in the future I could meme and run Brave Sword or something. Because like, if you don't think about it too hard, you know, it could totally work, Kappa. But yeah, if the enemies generally will have 20 something defense at least. So it's like, I don't really think it would work. But it's just, with Dual Lin, they can just get enough actions with a unit like Layla with disarm traps so they can just casually ignore the existence of traps, which is very important in a lot of setups. If you just remove some traps from people's setups, it becomes much easier to deal with them for totally obvious reasons, Kappa. But yeah, these rematches, just nothing too special here. And here again, this is nothing special, this is just good play. It's a win-win scenario. This is a very common way you can approach my defense if you're going for chip damage sweeping. Just use the fact that it doesn't actually matter which heavy trap is real. You can just run afterwards. Of course, this person has 2 dancers, and that's not always applicable. But a repo and a smite's pretty common on offense, and you can always repo. So you don't need to. I think if you end turn here, I'm pretty sure Duma can still only move 1 space because of the heavy trap. I guess so. The only nuance there is you're assuming that the heavy trap is high enough level. I guess that's the problem. I guess that's the real problem. But yeah, that's a very common way you can just get rid of the healing tower. It's not actually a very good spot for the healing tower. The best spot is most generally probably the very corner of the map if you really don't want someone to snipe it. But then of course, probably having it in the corner of the map is catapults. But it's like if you're running it in the spot I have right now, it doesn't matter. So, and it's the end of the season, so they don't need to grab the ether structures, but they could easily do it if they wanted to. They just take some time to set up. Not a big deal. And with that, we managed to only get minus 14 this week on defense. Very lucky on the matchmaker. But yeah, 4 rematches is quite a bit. But I mean, that's kind of expected. People see my, people just like probably watch their replays and like see me derp around on offense. And honestly, yeah, my defense, at least compared to my dark defense, my anima defense is okay. My dark defense is such a meme, but we're gonna try turn 1 iceberg on Julia this week instead of glacies, because we're continuing the turn 1 Astra memes, because why the heck not? But yeah, resonant battles easily dropping out of interval 21, nothing too mind-blowing there. And allegiance battles top 500, top 400. Which is fine because it's Earth season, so we can use Legendary Julia. And the one thing I forgot a few seasons back, when it was just Earth season, it wasn't Water season, was I can actually run all my top scoring units like this and still have all the colors because I'm running double pair-ups. So then with the free pair-up, I have 3 triple paired up units. And so I have very flexible options for murdering the red units on that, because 3 of my pair up units are blue. I think I forgot to show this, but yeah, we're probably not staying in top 10k. I would be kind of surprised. A lot of people do last minute ether raid shenanigans, and there's maintenance today too for the upcoming update. Not really expecting much from the update, not gonna lie. It's just a waiting fest. But it's just a waiting fest for me for the legendary banner at the end of this month. Doesn't seem like we're actually gonna have too many orbs. Maybe like 1850 at most. Maybe 1900 if we get lucky. But yeah, it's not looking too good considering what I'm trying to go for on the banner. Which is basically, if blue is good enough, a lot of peonies and colorless to plus 10 Duma. And if we get any other Bramamons, that's just a bonus. We're probably inevitably going to get at least 1 Bramamon, so we can maybe patch up a Bane, like minus attack on like plus HP Bramamon or whatever. But yeah, in Arena, I ended up plus 10ing Athena. Very budget set here, besides ether. Ether's so expensive for me nowadays because I have like 2 Chroms left. But with that, we're easily scoring enough to stay in tier 21, but I was only actually trying to go for 3,840. The matchmaker decided, let's just give you higher scores, so we're just easily staying. And next week, it's completely trivial for us to stay, because it's going to be water season next week, so we can use Legendary Zero, we can use Sheena, so we actually have some decent blue coverage, and well, and slightly better green coverage, because Athena definitely cannot handle all the green units running around there all by herself with this team. It was pretty difficult this week, especially if Freya's running around. Athena was getting doubled by quite a few of them because, well, when Freya's getting over 70 speed with a rally, and Athena only has 52 as bonus in Arena, and we only run like double drive speeds, and we can't use a rally because of Binding Necklace. Yeah, we get doubled. At least Freya never had enough attack to 1-round KO Athena because her bulk's pretty decent. Of course, as Arena bonus, she had 53 HP and 38 defense. So beefy enough to avoid getting 1-round KO'd consistently. But yeah, it was pretty dicey. Yeah, Arena Assault, pretty hot garbage RNG this week. I only did 1 run though, but it was like, we're only going for top 1k. especially when it's just Earth season. So should be chilling with that. If this is not enough for top 1k, that'd be pretty surprising. Worst case scenario, we get top 3k, but it doesn't matter too much. But anyways, we'll be back when the results drop in. Okay, should be done by now, in theory. And there we go, just outside top 1k again. That was expected. And pretty terrible week, but we move on, and things can only get worse. Oh boy. I don't know what to say. Honestly, probably just shouldn't run Catapult. Because of the way Ether Raids works now, you can actually just not run the bonus structure on offense and not get penalized for it. Unless the enemy also isn't running a structure, then you lose out on the bonus. But we're just gonna derp around this week like usual. Astra Bramamon, Luna Bramamon, Iceberg Julia instead of Glacies, like I said. And yeah, it's gonna be fantastic when people bring their column 2, column 3 bolt towers and stuff. It'll be fine. And on offense, I'll be trying out Legendary Azura again instead of Peony. So I should probably do that real quick before I forget. And I don't expect things to go well. I honestly don't even expect making tier 27 because this offense is pretty carbo with Legendary Azura. She has her benefits, but the drawbacks are pretty huge. I think we'll just run Earth Dance and regret life decisions later. But the main thing is just the front-loaded buffing isn't really there. And I think for once we're actually going to use Milla's Churn Wheel. Probably to not good results. But it'll be something. And that should be fine. To be honest, 54 defense is hot garbage. We actually do need to run Fortress Defense if we want to have higher consistency. But then that comes at the cost of less speed. So just for the heck of it, we'll go all out. And now Milla will be able to do absolutely nothing. This is going to be bad. And so our main buff engine is actually going to be Speed Reslink, which is pretty sad. That's going to run into so many problems. Because Sudden Panic exists a lot for some reason. Like, I know people like using it, but it shows up way too much in my matches. I have no idea why. But we'll just derp around while we can actually score for once. Maybe I should just run like Legendary Azura and Peony? Maybe? I don't know. And then just like not run Milla, but then we just lose because Nino has less HP, less defense. Everything goes downhill really fast with this team. The moment we see any competent team, it's just game over. I don't know what we should do about that. Honestly though, maybe we do just run Speed Tactic on Legendary Azura now that I think about it. Oh, we're not gonna run Aerobatics. I don't know why I'm doing this on camera, it's just for the heck of it. On video, same difference. Yeah, I think we'll just run Aerobatics, regret life decisions when we want Wings of Mercy, and vice versa. Running both, it would be an excellent idea, but yeah, well, who would do that? We'll do this and regret life decisions later. I guess the problem with this now is that we're not buffing resistance. Then, you know what? We're just gonna do exactly what I said we weren't going to do. Wings of Mercy and Aerobatics. What could possibly go wrong? You know what? No. I keep changing my mind. Feels bad, 100%. Derp Fest. Yeah, I might as well try out Earth Dance. We'll noticed the lack of front-loaded speed very quickly, and attack for that matter, because Blade Tome. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye!